Don't touch that.
Monica Sinclair, 62, grabbed her purse like it was on fire. Ava Sinclair, 42, froze. She'd only reached for a tissue. 7 days until her wedding. Something had buzzed inside that purse. Her mother's face went pale. Monica rushed to the bathroom. The purse stayed behind, open. Ava's fingers found a phone she'd never seen. Cheap plastic. Cracked screen. The screen lit up. 143 messages. All from Ethan, her fiancé. Messages about missing each other. About tonight. About Ava never finding out. Months of them. Her throat closed. The bathroom door opened. Monica saw Ava's face. Then the phone. Neither woman breathed. The last message burned in Ava's mind. Sent yesterday. 3 words. Plan B. Wedding day. What were they planning for her wedding day?
Before we begin, if you could tap subscribe and like, it would mean so much to me. And if you don't mind, please leave a comment letting me know where you're listening from. May health and happiness find their way to you right where you are. All right then, let's begin today's story.
Chapter 2. The frame. Ava didn't sleep. She sat in the dark. The burner phone glowed in her hands. She read every message. Again. Again. I miss you. Tonight. Same place. She doesn't suspect anything. Her fiancé. Her mother. For months. The engagement ring cut into her palm. She'd been squeezing it for hours. Dawn came gray through the kitchen window. Ethan's truck pulled into the driveway. Gravel crunched. The engine died. The front door opened. Hey, babe. Ethan Price, 45, walked in with coffee and a smile. Tall, broad shoulders. The kind of face that made you trust him. Ava didn't move. You're up early. He set the cups down. Couldn't sleep? She held up the phone. Ethan's smile vanished. Where did you get that? His voice dropped. Mom's purse. Ava's throat was raw. 143 messages, Ethan. Months of them. He stepped forward. Ava, listen. Don't. She stood. The chair scraped against tile. Don't say my name like that. I can explain. Then explain. Her voice cracked. Explain why you're texting my mother about missing her. About meeting tonight. About me never finding out. Ethan ran his hand through his hair. His jaw tightened. I can't. Not yet. Not yet? There are things... He stopped, looked at the window, then back. Things I can't tell you right now. We're getting married in 6 days. I know. And you can't tell me why you're having an affair with my mother? It's not what you think. Ava laughed. The sound was hollow. That's what they always say. She pulled the ring from her finger. The metal was warm. She'd worn it for 8 months. I'm done. She threw it. The ring hit his chest, bounced, clinked against the floor. Ethan didn't pick it up. Ava, please. I need you to trust me for 6 more days. Trust you? She shook her head. I don't even know who you are. She grabbed her keys, her jacket, headed for the door. Wait. Ethan blocked her path. Where are you going? The hotel. His face changed. Something flickered. Fear? What hotel? Don't play dumb. Ava held up the phone. Room 214. Tonight at 9. You think I can't read? Ava, don't go there. Why? Afraid of what I'll find? He grabbed her arm. Gentle but firm. Listen. That single word again. If you go to that hotel, you'll make everything worse. I'm begging you. She pulled free. You should have thought about that before you slept with my mother. The door slammed behind her. The sound echoed down the empty street. Ava drove for an hour. No destination, just motion. Her phone buzzed. Mom? She ignored it. Buzzed again. Mom? Again. 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 Finally, she pulled over. Gravel shoulder, empty field. Read the text. Sweetheart, please come home. It's not what you think. I can explain everything. Please don't do anything until we talk. The same words. Both of them. Ava's hand shook on the steering wheel. Her phone rang. Not Mom this time. Tessa Lane, her best friend since nursing school. Hey. Ava's voice was barely there. You sound like death. Tessa, 44, never softened the truth. What happened? I found something. Found what? Ethan's been texting my mom for months. Love messages, meeting times, hotel rooms, silence on the line. Holy shit. Yeah. Are you sure I'm sure. Ava stared at the burner phone in her passenger seat. I'm holding the evidence right now. Where are you? Somewhere on Route 12. I don't know. Come to my place. Now. Tessa's apartment smelled like coffee and electronics. Computer parts everywhere. Monitors stacked 3 high. Before IT, before phones, Tessa had been a county dispatch operator. She knew systems. She knew secrets. Let me see it. Tessa reached for the burner phone. Ava handed it over. Tessa scrolled. Her eyes narrowed. Scrolled more. These timestamps. She pointed at the screen. Look. What about them? They're consistent. Too consistent. Tessa zoomed in. Every message sent at exact intervals. 900 p.m., 9:15 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Real people don't text like that. What are you saying? I'm saying something's off. Tessa set the phone down. But I can't tell what without digging deeper. Give me 24 hours. I don't have 24 hours. The wedding is in 6 days. Then what's your plan? Ava looked at the phone. The hotel, room 214. Tonight at 9. You're going to confront them? I'm going to see it with my own eyes. Tessa grabbed her arm. Here's the thing. Her voice was serious now. If this is an affair, you'll find nothing. They'll be careful. But if this is something else, something bigger, you walking in there could be exactly what someone wants. Someone? Think about it. Tessa leaned back. Why would your mother use a burner phone? She's not a drug dealer. She's not a spy. She's a retired court clerk who goes to church every Sunday. Ava hadn't thought about that. People having affairs use their real phones and delete messages. Tessa continued. Burner phones are for people hiding from something bigger than a jealous daughter. The words hung in the air. Ava's phone buzzed. New message. Unknown number. She opened it. A photo. Herself. Standing at Tessa's door. Taken from across the street. 2 words beneath it. Stop digging. That night, Ava went home. Monica was waiting. The kitchen table. 2 cups of tea. Steam rising. Sit down, sweetheart. Monica's voice was soft, controlled. Please. Ava didn't sit. Who sent me this? She showed the photo. Someone's watching me. Monica's face went white. Where did you get that? Answer my question, Mom. Monica stood, walked to the window, checked the street, closed the blinds. There are things you don't understand. She turned back. Things I've been trying to protect you from. Protect me? By sleeping with my fiancé? I'm not sleeping with Ethan. Then what are those messages? Monica's hands trembled. I can't tell you. Can't or won't. Both. Monica's eyes filled with tears. Sweetheart, I know how this looks. I know you're hurt. But I need you to trust me. Just for a few more days. Everyone keeps saying that. Ava's voice rose. Trust me. 6 more days. What happens in 6 days that's so important? Monica didn't answer. The wedding. Ava's blood went cold. Something's happening at my wedding. Monica grabbed her daughter's hands. Please. Her voice broke. Please marry Ethan. Whatever you think of me right now, please go through with the wedding. Why? Because if you don't, Monica stopped, swallowed. If you don't, everything falls apart. Everything I've done to keep you safe. Safe from what? Monica opened her mouth. The doorbell rang. Both women froze. Monica checked the peephole. Her face changed. Go upstairs, she whispered. Now. Mom. Now. Ava ran. From the top of the stairs, she heard the door open. A man's voice. Deep. Familiar. Evening, Monica. Sheriff Roy Kessler. Mind if I come? Chapter 3. Room 214. Ava pressed her back against the wall. Through the floor, voices drifted up, muffled. She couldn't make out words. Sheriff Roy Kessler had been the county sheriff for 15 years. Everyone knew him. Everyone smiled when he passed. Ava had never thought about why. She crept to the top of the stairs, listened. Just a friendly visit. Roy's voice was honey over gravel, checking on the mother of the bride. At 10 o'clock at night? Monica's voice was tight. Wedding stress. People do strange things. A pause. Speaking of strange, you haven't been to the storage unit lately. Silence. Cat got your tongue, Monica? I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. Roy's boots creaked on the floor. Heavy steps. Slow. That unit you've been paying for? 15 years. Same one every month. Cash. No name. Ava's heart pounded. Storage unit? What storage unit? I mind my own business, Roy. Monica's voice hardened. You should try it. Here's the thing about business. Roy's tone dropped. When it involves certain files from certain cases, it becomes everyone's business. I don't have any files. We both know that's not true. More footsteps. Monica backing away. The wedding's in 6 days, Roy said. Lot can happen in 6 days. Accidents. Misunderstandings. People finding things they shouldn't in places they shouldn't be. Is that a threat? Just an observation. The door opened. Cool night air rushed in. Give my best to Ava. Pretty girl. Shame if something spoiled her big day. The door closed. Ava couldn't breathe. She waited until midnight. Monica had gone to bed. The house was dark. Ava took the burner phone, took her car keys, left through the back door. The hotel wasn't far. 20 minutes on the highway. A place called the Ridgewood Motor Inn. The kind of place that didn't ask questions. Room 214. She parked across the lot. Watched. The room was dark. No cars nearby. 11:47 p.m. The message had said 9. She was late. On purpose. If someone was meeting, they'd be gone by now. She could check the room. Find evidence. Ava walked to the front desk. A kid behind the counter, maybe 19, acne, bored eyes. Help you? Room 214. Ava tried to sound casual. I'm supposed to meet someone, but I'm late. Can you tell me if they checked in? The kid typed, frowned. 214's been empty for 3 weeks. That's not possible. Lady, I'm looking at the system. He turned the monitor. See? Last guest checked out October 3rd. Nobody since. Ava stared at the screen. No booking. No record, nothing. Could someone have, I don't know, paid cash? Used a different name? Everything goes in the system. The kid shrugged. Can't have a room without a booking. Fire code. Ava's mind raced. The messages said, room 214, tonight, 9 o'clock. But there was no reservation, no meeting, no affair. Then what were those messages for? Thanks. She stepped back. Sorry to bother you. The parking lot was empty. Ava walked to her car, slowly, processing. If there was no room, there was no affair. Tessa was right. The messages were something else. A setup. A trap. But for who? Her phone buzzed. Unknown number again. A photo. Herself. Right now. Standing in the hotel parking lot. Taken from somewhere in the darkness. Text beneath. 48 hours. Return the phone. Or we release everything. Ava spun around. Nothing. No one. Just empty cars and flickering lights. Another buzz. Another photo. This one, older. Her mother, younger. Standing outside a courthouse. Holding a file box. Text. She's not innocent. Neither are you. Ava ran to her car. Locked the doors, started the engine, hands shaking. Someone was watching her, following her, photographing her, and they wanted the burner phone back. Why? What was on that phone that was worth this much? She drove to Tessa's. 3 a.m. Didn't matter. She pounded on the door. Tessa opened it in a bathrobe, eyes half closed. What the hell? They're watching me. Ava pushed inside. Someone's following me, taking pictures, threatening me. Slow down. Tessa closed the door, locked it. Who's watching you? I don't know. Ava showed the photos. I went to the hotel. Room 214. It's been empty for weeks. There was never a meeting. The whole thing was fake. Tessa took the phone, studied the images. This photo of your mom, that's the old courthouse, before the renovation. So that's at least 15 years ago. Tessa zoomed in. See the file box? That's archive format, official records. My mom worked at the courthouse as a clerk. Tessa looked up. Clerks don't carry archive boxes, only records managers, and she stopped. And what? People removing evidence. The words hit like ice water. You think my mom stole files? I think someone thinks she did. Tessa set the phone down. And I think that phone is connected to whatever she took. That's insane. My mom goes to church. She makes casseroles for sick neighbors. She's not a criminal. Ava. Tessa's voice softened. The sheriff came to your house at 10 p.m. asking about a storage unit. Someone's photographing you from the shadows. These aren't normal people doing normal things. Ava sank into a chair. What do I do? First, don't return that phone. Tessa sat across from her. Whatever's on it, they want it gone. That means It's leverage. Leverage for what? I don't know yet. Tessa pulled out her laptop. But I'm going to find out. Give me 24 hours. You said that before. This time, I mean it. Tessa plugged in the burner phone. Go home. Act normal. Wedding planning. Smiles. Whatever. Don't let anyone know you're digging. And if they contact me again, stall. Tessa started typing. Tell them you're considering it. Buy time. Ava stood. At the door, she turned back. Tessa, if my mom really did something, if she's involved in whatever this is, then you need to know. Tessa didn't look up from the screen. Better to know the monster than to sleep next to it. The drive home was silent. No music, no radio, just the hum of the engine and the questions spinning in Ava's head. Her mother, Ethan, the sheriff, the photos. None of it made sense. But one thing was clear. Someone was planning something for her wedding day, and she was running out of time to stop it. Chapter 4. Recovery. 23 hours later, Tessa called. Get here. Now. Ava was at her door in 15 minutes. Tessa's apartment looked like a crime scene. Papers everywhere. 3 monitors showing code. The burner phone connected to a mess of wires. What did you find? Sit down. Tessa's face was pale. This is bigger than an affair. Ava sat. I ran a full recovery on the phone. Tessa pointed at the center screen. Deleted messages. Hidden files. Everything. Most of it was erased remotely. Someone tried to wipe it while I was working. Did they succeed? Mostly. Tessa clicked. But I caught fragments, pieces of conversations, and one complete thread they missed. The screen showed a text chain, Monica and an unknown number. Ava leaned forward. Read. I won't give you the file. Then your daughter pays. She doesn't know anything. She will. Wedding day. What are you planning? Unknown. Evidence. Her house. Her car. Enough to put her away for years. She's innocent. Doesn't matter. Roy knows about the file. He needs someone to blame. Better her than you. Ava couldn't speak. There's more. Tessa scrolled. Look at this. Another message. Same unknown number. Ethan is cooperating. He'll play his part. The texts between you will look like an affair. When it blows up, Ava will be too busy falling apart to notice the real setup. Ava read it 3 times. Ethan knew. Her voice was hollow. He knew they were framing me. Wait. Tessa held up a hand. Read the next one. Ethan is not cooperating. He's trying to help. Then he's a liability. Monica. Touch him and I release everything. You're bluffing. Try me. Silence. So Ethan wasn't part of the frame? Ava's head spun. Based on this, no. Tessa leaned back. It looks like your mom and Ethan were running some kind of counter-operation. The affair texts were cover, making Roy think they were on his side while actually what? I don't know. Tessa shook her head. The rest was deleted. But there's one more thing. She clicked again. A single line. The last thing recovered before the wipe. Roy knows about the file. Storage Unit 47. Riverside Self-Storage. Ava stood up. I need to go there, not alone. Tessa grabbed her keys. I'm coming with you. Riverside Self-Storage sat on the edge of town. Rusted gates, flickering lights. The kind of place people forgot about. Unit 47 was in the back row, padlocked. Do you have a key? Tessa asked. No. Then how? Ava pulled out the burner phone, turned it over, pressed on the battery cover. The scratches. She'd noticed them the first night. Deep grooves in the plastic. She pried it open. A small key fell into her palm, hidden in plain sight. Tessa whispered. The lock clicked open. Inside, the unit was small, 10 by 10, boxes stacked against the walls, dust everywhere. Ava opened the first box. Files, hundreds of them. Court documents, case numbers, names she didn't recognize. What is all this? Tessa picked up a folder. Read. Property transfers, land deals, corporate filings. She flipped pages, all from 15 to 20 years ago. Why would my mom keep these? Because they're evidence. Tessa pulled out another file. Look at this. Same property transferred 6 times in 1 year. Different owners each time. All signed off by the same judge. Money laundering or land fraud? Tessa kept reading. Someone was stealing properties through fake paperwork. And your mom kept the originals. Ava's heart raced. If she has the original, then she can prove the current records are forged. Tessa looked up. This is why they want the phone, not because of the messages, because it led here, to this. A car door slammed outside. Both women froze. Footsteps on gravel, coming closer. Tessa killed her flashlight. They pressed against the wall. Through the gap in the door, Ava saw a figure. Tall, uniform, Sheriff Roy Kessler. He walked past their unit, stopped at 48. The one next door, pulled out keys, opened it. Check the cameras, he said into his phone. I want to know if anyone's been here in the last 48 hours. A pause. Good. Keep watching. The wedding's in 4 days. Everything needs to be ready. He stepped inside his unit. The door closed. Ava and Tessa didn't breathe. Minutes passed. Finally, Roy emerged, locked up, walked back to his car. The engine started. Headlights swept across the lot. Gone. Tessa exhaled. He has his own unit here, right next to my mom's. That's not a coincidence. Tessa grabbed a stack of files. We need to take what we can, now. Before he figures out someone was here, they filled a bag. Grabbed the most important-looking folders. At the door, Ava stopped. A small box in the corner, unmarked. She opened it. Inside, a cassette tape, old school, a label in her mother's handwriting. Insurance. Ava pocketed it. They ran. Back at Tessa's, they spread everything out. Files covered the floor, the table, the couch. This is decades of fraud, Tessa said. Land stolen, records altered, signatures forged. And my mom knew? Your mom documented. Tessa held up a folder. Look, these aren't just files. They're comparisons. Original signatures next to forgeries. Timestamps that don't match. She was building a case. Against who? Tessa pointed at a name on one of the documents. Roy Kessler. He's been stealing land for 20 years, Tessa said. And your mom has the proof. Ava picked up the cassette tape. What about this? We need a tape player. Tessa dug through a drawer. I've got one somewhere. She found it. Dusty, ancient. The tape clicked in, static, then a voice. Roy Kessler. The Davidson property is next. Forge the deed. File it Tuesday. I'll handle the widow. Another voice. Unrecognizable. And if she doesn't sell, she will. Roy laughed. Everyone sells eventually, one way or another. The tape crackled. More conversations. More crimes. 15 minutes of evidence. Ava's hands shook. This is it. Tessa's eyes were wide. This is enough to put him away for life. And why didn't my mom use it? Because she couldn't. Tessa rewound the tape. Think about it. She worked for the court. If she released this, they'd ask how she got it. She'd go down too. So she hid it. Waited. Waited for what? For someone else to find it. Tessa looked at Ava. For you. Ava drove home at dawn. Her mother was in the kitchen. Coffee. Waiting. Where were you? Does it matter? Ava sat across from her. I know about the storage unit, Mom. I know about the files. I know what Roy's been doing for 20 years. Monica's cup trembled. I know you've been protecting me. Ava's voice cracked. And I know you're scared, but I need you to tell me everything. Now, before it's too late. Monica set down her coffee. If I tell you, she whispered, you can never unknow it. Your life changes forever. My life already changed. Ava reached across the table, took her mother's hand. Please, Mom, help me understand. Monica closed her eyes. When she opened them, tears were falling. It started 22 years ago. She began, the year your father died. Chapter 5. The pastor's deal. Monica's hands trembled around her coffee cup. Your father didn't die in a car accident. Ava's world stopped. What? The official report said he lost control, hit a tree. Monica's voice was barely a whisper, but I saw the body. Before they cleaned it up, before anyone could stop me. Mom? There were marks, Ava, on his wrists, on his neck. Monica looked up. Her eyes were red. He didn't crash. Someone stopped him, tied him up, put him back in the car, made it look like an accident. Who? I didn't know then. I was crazy with grief. Everyone told me I was imagining things. Monica wiped her eyes. But I started digging, quietly, using my access at the courthouse. The files. Yes, Monica nodded. I found patterns, land deals, forged documents, properties stolen from widows and old people, and every single one went through the same judge, signed off by the same sheriff. Roy. He was a deputy then, working his way up. Monica's jaw tightened. Your father was investigating the same thing for the county assessor's office. He found discrepancies, started asking questions, and they killed him. Monica didn't answer. She didn't have to. I've been collecting evidence ever since, she continued, waiting for the right moment, the right person to trust. 22 years? Ava's voice rose. You waited 22 years? I had you to protect. Monica grabbed her hand. If I came forward, they'd destroy me. Destroy us. I needed insurance. Leverage. Something to keep us safe until I could figure out how to use it. And Ethan? Monica hesitated. He came to town 2 years ago for a construction project. One of Roy's projects. She paused. But he started noticing things. Cost overruns that didn't make sense. Land purchases that seemed wrong. He came to me because I used to work at the courthouse. You told him everything? I had to. Monica's voice cracked. He was going to blow the whistle, go to the state. But I knew what happened to people who challenged Roy, so I showed him the files. Convinced him we needed a plan. The fake affair. We had to communicate somehow. If Roy was watching, and he always is, normal phone calls would be suspicious. But an affair? That's just scandal. Gossip. Nobody investigates gossip. So Ethan was never. He loves you. Monica squeezed her hand. More than anything. He was willing to look like a cheater to keep you safe. Ava pulled away. Safe from what? What's happening at the wedding? Monica looked at the window, then back. Roy knows he's running out of time. Federal auditors are coming in January. Someone tipped them about irregularities. He needs a scapegoat. Someone to blame for 20 years of fraud. Me? You're perfect. Monica's voice was bitter, marrying into the middle of it. Access to Ethan's project files. A mother who worked at the courthouse. If they find evidence in your house, in your car, the stuff they planted. What? Under my doormat. A few days ago, Ava's blood ran cold. I found a small bag. Pills. Bullets. I didn't touch it. Monica went white. They're already setting up the frame. What do we do? The wedding. Monica stood. We have to go through with the wedding. As long as everything looks normal, Roy thinks he's in control. That gives us time. Time for what? To destroy him first. The church rehearsal was at 7. Ava walked in with a smile, Ethan at her side. Hand in hand, the perfect couple. Pastor Grant Hale, 66, waited at the altar. White hair, soft eyes, the kind of face that inspired trust. There's the happy couple. His voice echoed in the empty sanctuary. Ready for the big day? Can't wait. Ethan's grip tightened on Ava's hand. They ran through the ceremony. Walk here. Stand there. Say this. Ava moved through it all like a ghost. Afterward, the pastor pulled her aside. A word, Ava? Ethan started to follow. Just the bride. Pastor Grant smiled. Groom traditions. You know. Ethan hesitated. Looked at Ava. She nodded. They went to his office. Small room. Bookshelves. A desk covered in papers. Sit down, please. The pastor gestured to a chair. Ava sat. I've known your mother for 30 years. He settled behind his desk. Good woman. Strong faith. But lately what? She seems troubled. Distracted. He folded his hands. I worry about her. And about you. I'm fine. Are you? His eyes narrowed. Because I've heard rumors. Stress. Cold feet. Questions about Ethan. Just pre-wedding nerves. Of course. He nodded slowly. But I want you to know, whatever happens, the wedding goes forward as planned. It's important. For the community. For your mother. For everyone. Something in his voice changed. Ava noticed. What do you mean, whatever happens? Just that weddings can be stressful. He smiled. People sometimes make impulsive decisions. Decisions that affect more than just themselves. Are you threatening me? I'm counseling you. His smile didn't waver. As your friend, trust the plan. Walk down that aisle. Say your vows. Everything else will work out. He stood, opened the door. Ava didn't move. Whose plan? Excuse me? You said, trust the plan. Whose plan? Pastor Grant's smile flickered. God's plan, of course. Ava walked to the door. Stopped. I need to use the bathroom. Down the hall. On the left. She didn't go to the bathroom. She went to the pastor's private office. The one with the locked door. The door wasn't locked. Inside another desk. Filing cabinets. A laptop. and on the desk, an envelope. Thick. Stuffed with cash. Ava picked it up. Counted. $5,000. A business card fell out. Sheriff Roy Kessler. On the back, handwritten, "For the wedding. Everything as discussed." Ava's hands shook. She photographed everything. The envelope, the cash, the card. Footsteps in the hallway. She slipped out the back. Heart pounding. Ethan found her in the parking lot. "What happened?" "The pastor is in on it." She showed him the photos. "Roy paid him off for the wedding." Ethan's jaw tightened. "What do they want him to do?" "I don't know." Ava looked back at the church. "But whatever it is, it happens Saturday. Then we stop it." "How?" Ethan pulled her close. "We have 3 days. The files, the tape, the photos. We put it all together and we burn them down before they burn us. And if we can't, then we run." His eyes met hers. "Together, wherever they can't find us." "I'm not running." Ava pulled back. "Not from my home. Not from my life. Not from my mother's fight." "Then we fight." A car pulled into the lot. "Tessa." She jumped out, face pale. "We have a problem." "What now?" "Someone just accessed the storage unit, Roy's unit. They moved everything out." "When?" "An hour ago." Tessa showed her phone. "But that's not the worst part." "What's the worst part?" "The security footage. They edited it." Tessa's voice dropped. "It shows you entering Roy's unit, stealing files. 3 days ago." Ava's blood went cold. "I was never." "I know." Tessa cut her off. "But the footage says different. And in 3 days, when they discover evidence in your house, they'll have video proof you stole it from the sheriff. They're framing me for their own crimes. Welcome to Cedar Fall." Tessa's smile was bitter, where the law protects itself. Chapter 6. Not an affair. Ava stood in Tessa's apartment. The fake footage played on a loop. There she was, clear as day, walking into Roy's storage unit, carrying boxes, loading them into her car. Except it wasn't her. Same build, same hair color, same jacket she'd worn that night. But not her face. The camera angle made sure of that. "They planned this from the beginning," Tessa said. "The moment you found that phone, you walked into their trap. Then how do we get out?" "I don't know." Tessa rubbed her eyes. "The footage is their insurance. Even if we release the files, they'll say you stole them. Your mother helped. It's your word against the sheriff's, not just my word." Ava pulled out the cassette tape. "We have this." "An old recording?" Tessa shook her head. "Roy's lawyers will tear it apart. Chain of custody. Authentication. How do we prove it's really him? There has to be something." "There is." A voice from the doorway. "Ethan." He walked in, closed the door. His face was drawn, exhausted. "I didn't want to tell you this way." He sat across from Ava. "But we're out of time." "Tell me what?" Ethan pulled out his phone. Opened a file. "I've been working with your mother for 2 years, but I wasn't just collecting evidence." He looked at the floor. "I was recording Roy directly." "How?" "His construction project. The community center." Ethan met her eyes. "Roy owns half the contractors. I'm the project manager. I hear everything." He pressed play. Roy's voice filled the room. "The wedding is perfect. Ava goes down for theft and fraud. Ethan's reputation is destroyed. Monica loses everything. And I walk away clean." Another voice. "The pastor. What about the federal auditors?" "Handled." Roy laughed. "By the time they arrive, every document will point to Monica Sinclair and her family. 20 years of fraud, all pinned on a grieving widow who lost her mind. And if she talks, she won't. She knows what happened to her husband." The recording stopped. Ava couldn't breathe. "He admitted it." Her voice was a whisper. "He admitted killing my father." "Not explicitly." Ethan shook his head. "But combined with your mother's files, the pattern is clear. Your father found the fraud. Roy killed him, and he's been covering it up ever since." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I was trying to protect you." Ethan's voice cracked. "The plan was simple. Marry you. Get legal access to the property records through your mother. Build an airtight case. Then go to the feds." But they found out. Someone on my crew reported back to Roy. Ethan ran his hand through his hair. 2 months ago, Roy called me into his office, showed me photos. You, your mother, your daily routine. He said if I didn't cooperate, He'd destroy both of you, so you pretended to play along. I had no choice. Ethan reached for her hand. The affair texts were Monica's idea. If Roy thought we were working together romantically, he'd dismiss us. Just two people sneaking around. Not a threat. And the wedding? That's still the plan. Ethan squeezed her hand. Saturday, in front of everyone, we expose him. How? The pastor is wired. Ethan allowed himself a small smile. He doesn't know it, but the sound system in that church? I upgraded it 3 months ago. Everything goes through a central server. Everything is recorded. You're going to play the evidence at our wedding? Better. Ethan stood. Roy is coming. He thinks he's going to watch you get arrested in front of the whole town. Instead, he's going to hear himself confessing to 20 years of fraud. Ava stared at him. That's insane. That's justice. What if it doesn't work? Then we have backups. Tessa jumped in. I've already uploaded copies to 3 different servers. One goes to the state attorney general. One goes to a journalist at the Tribune. One goes live on every local social media feed at exactly 3 p.m. Saturday, the moment the ceremony is supposed to end. Ethan added. Ava looked between them. You've been planning this for months. We had to. Ethan's voice softened. I know you're angry. I know I lied to you. But everything, every text, every secret meeting, every moment I couldn't explain, it was all for this. To take down Roy, to free your family. Ethan cupped her face in his hands. Your father deserves justice. Your mother deserves peace, and you deserve a life without this shadow hanging over you. Ava closed her eyes. Everything she thought she knew was wrong. There was no affair, no betrayal, only a desperate plan to destroy a monster. Why didn't you just tell me? Because you would have tried to help. Ethan smiled sadly, and Roy was watching. One wrong move, one suspicious look, and everything would have fallen apart. So you let me think the worst. I'd rather you hate me for a week than bury you for a lifetime. Ava's eyes burned. I don't hate you. Good. Ethan pulled her close. Because I need you on Saturday, standing next to me, playing the happy bride, until the moment we pull the trigger. And then, we watch him burn. Chapter 7. The Sacrifice Play. 2 days before the wedding, Ava woke to pounding on her door. 6 a.m. Gray light through the curtains. More pounding. She grabbed a robe. Walked downstairs. Through the peephole, 2 deputies, hands on their belts. She opened the door. Ava Sinclair? The taller one spoke. Badge said Martinez. Yes, we have a warrant to search your home. He held up a paper. Step aside, please. On what grounds? Anonymous tip. His eyes were cold. Stolen property. Possible narcotics. Ava's stomach dropped. The doormat. The planted evidence. I want to call my lawyer. You can call whoever you want. Martinez pushed past her. After we're done, they searched for 3 hours. Every drawer, every closet, every corner. Ava sat in her living room, watched them tear her home apart. Monica arrived at 8. Face white. They came to my house, too. She sat next to Ava, grabbed her hand. Did they find anything? No. Monica's voice was low. I cleaned out the unit. Everything's hidden. Where? Don't ask. Monica squeezed her hand. What you don't know, you can't reveal. Footsteps on the stairs. Martinez came down, holding a bag. Inside white pills, a small handgun, cash wrapped in rubber bands. Found these in your closet. He sat, hidden behind your shoes. Those aren't mine. They were in your house. He smiled. That makes them yours. Someone planted them. Sure they did. He handed the bag to his partner. Ava Sinclair. You're under arrest for possession of controlled substances, possession of an unregistered firearm, and theft of county property. Theft of what? Files. Martinez pulled out his phone. We have you on video. Entering a storage unit. Taking documents. 3 nights ago. That footage is fake. Tell it to the judge. He pulled out handcuff. Wait. Monica stood. Those files. They're mine. I took them. Not her. Martinez paused. Ma'am? I'm the one who accessed the storage unit, not my daughter. Monica's voice was steady. I've been collecting evidence for 20 years against Sheriff Kessler for fraud, for theft, for my husband's murder. Mom, don't. Be quiet. Monica didn't look at her. Deputy, if you need someone to arrest, Arrest me. My daughter had nothing to do with this. Martinez looked between them. His radio crackled. Martinez, bring them both in. Sheriff's orders. The county jail smelled like bleach and despair. Ava sat in a holding cell, alone. They'd taken Monica somewhere else. Separate rooms, separate interrogations. Hours passed. Finally, the door opened. Sheriff Roy Kessler walked in, 58 years old, silver hair. The kind of smile that made you trust him until you knew better. Ava. He said her name like it was a prayer. Such a shame. Where's my mother? Being processed. He sat across from her. The bars between them. Confessed to everything. Theft. Fraud. Conspiracy. Very convenient. She's innocent. Is she? Roy tilted his head. Because the evidence says otherwise. 20 years of stolen files. A daughter who helped. A son-in-law who looked the other way. Ethan has nothing to do with this. Not yet. Roy leaned forward. But he will. Once we find the drugs in his truck. Once we find the money in his account. Once we tie it all together. You're framing all of us. I'm cleaning up a mess. His smile widened. Your father made the same mistake. Thought he could expose me. Thought the truth mattered more than survival. Ava's blood ran cold. You killed him. I removed an obstacle. Roy shrugged. Just like I'll remove you. Unless what? Unless you cooperate. He pulled out a paper. Marry Ethan. Saturday, as planned. But before the ceremony, you signed this. What is it? A confession. You and your mother orchestrated the fraud. Ethan was an innocent victim. I tried to stop you, but you resisted arrest. And in exchange, I let your mother live. Roy's eyes went flat. She's old. Sick. Probably won't survive county lockup. But if you sign, I'll make sure she gets comfortable accommodations. You're threatening to kill my mother. I'm offering you a choice. He slid the paper through the bars. Your mother's life, or your own. Ava looked at the confession, her name at the bottom. Waiting for a signature. How do I know you'll keep your word? You don't. Roy stood. That's the fun part. He walked to the door. You have until Friday. Sign the confession. Walk down the aisle, or watch your mother die in a cell. The door clanged shut. Ava sat in the silence. Everything they'd planned. The recordings. The files. The exposure at the wedding. None of it mattered if she was in jail. Unless. She looked at the confession again. Roy wanted a public ceremony. A wedding where she admitted guilt. Where the whole town watched the Sinclair family fall. He didn't know about the recordings. He didn't know about Tessa's servers. He didn't know that every word spoken in that church would be broadcast live. If she signed the confession. If she walked down the aisle. If she played the perfect guilty bride. Roy would come, gloating, triumphant, ready to watch her destroyed. And that's when they'd destroy him instead. It was a gamble, the biggest of her life, but it was the only card she had left. Chapter 8. The last night. Friday night. The night before the wedding. Ava sat in her childhood bedroom, Monica beside her, both released on bail. Roy's doing. He wanted them free. For Saturday. You shouldn't have signed. Monica's voice was hollow. I had to. He'll use it to bury you. Only if the plan fails. Ava took her mother's hand. Ethan has everything ready. The recordings. The files. The broadcast. And if something goes wrong, then I'll be in prison. Ava squeezed her hand. But you'll be alive. And the evidence will still exist. Tessa made sure of that. Monica's eyes filled with tears. I spent 22 years trying to protect you, and now you're protecting me. That's what family does. They sat in silence. Finally, Monica spoke. There's something else I need to tell you. What? Monica pulled out a small envelope. Old, yellowed. I found this in your father's office after he died, hidden in a book. Ava opened it. A letter. Her father's handwriting. My dearest Ava. She couldn't read it. The words blurred. He knew. Monica's voice cracked. He knew they were going to kill him. He wrote that the night before. Why didn't you show me? Because you were 20 years old. You'd just started nursing school. You had your whole life ahead of you. Monica wiped her eyes. I didn't want his death to consume you the way it consumed me. Ava forced herself to read. My dearest Ava, if you're reading this, something has happened to me. I want you to know that I loved you more than anything. And I want you to know the truth. Sheriff Roy Kessler is a criminal. He's been stealing land for years, using the courthouse, using the judge, using anyone he could buy. I tried to stop him. I thought I could expose him quietly. I was wrong. By the time you read this, your mother will have the evidence. She'll know what to do with it. Trust her. Trust yourself. Don't let them win, sweetheart. Don't let them bury the truth. Love always. Dad. Ava's hands shook. He knew. Her voice was barely audible. He knew, and he still tried to fight. He couldn't let it go. Monica smiled through her tears. Just like you. Just like me. Ava folded the letter. Tomorrow, she said. We end this. Tomorrow. The phone rang at midnight. Ava grabbed it. Unknown number. Ava. Ethan's voice. Strained. What's wrong? They took me. Who? Roy's people. I'm somewhere I don't know where. They grabbed me outside the motel. Ava's blood turned to ice. Are you hurt? Not yet. Ethan's voice dropped. They want the recordings. All of them. Roy knows there's more than what we showed him. How? Someone talked. Ethan paused. Ava, he's coming for you next. You need to run. I'm not running. Listen. That word again. His word. The backup is still in place. Tessa has everything. At 3 p.m. tomorrow, no matter what, it goes live. I'll be at the church. No, stay away. If Roy has me, he'll use me to get to you. The wedding is a trap. I know. Ava's jaw tightened. That's why I'm walking into it. Ava, he thinks he's won. He thinks I'll fold. But he doesn't know what's coming. You can't do this alone. I won't be alone. Ava looked at her mother. I have Mom. I have Tessa. And I have Dad. Silence on the line. I love you, Ethan whispered. I love you too. Ava's voice cracked. See you at the altar. The line went dead. Monica watched her daughter. He has Ethan. Yes, so you're going to face Roy. Alone. At your own wedding. Not alone. Ava smiled. It was the coldest smile Monica had ever seen. You'll be there. So will half the town. And at 3 p.m., everyone will hear the truth. What if Roy stops the broadcast? He can't. Ava picked up her phone. Tessa built in redundancies. Even if they destroy the church equipment, the signal still goes out. Radio, internet, emergency broadcast system. By 3:15, every person in this county will have heard Roy Kessler confess to murder. Monica stared at her. When did you become this? The moment I read Dad's letter. Ava's eyes hardened. He died for the truth. I'm not going to waste that. Chapter 9. The Wedding. Saturday, 2:47 p.m. 13 minutes until the broadcast. Ava stood in the church vestibule. White dress, veil, flowers, the perfect bride. Her hands didn't shake. Through the doors, she could hear the congregation. 200 people, friends, neighbors, strangers who came to watch. And somewhere among them, Sheriff Roy Kessler. Monica appeared at her side. He brought Ethan. Her voice was low. Back row, 2 deputies on either side. Is he hurt? I can't tell. The organ music started. The wedding march. Ready? Monica asked. No. Ava took a breath. Let's go anyway. The doors opened. She walked down the aisle. Heads turned. Smiles bloomed. Cameras flashed. Ava saw none of it. Her eyes found Ethan. Back row. Bruises on his face. But alive. Alert. He nodded. Barely. Enough. She reached the altar. Pastor Grant Hale waited, hands folded, smile practiced. Dearly beloved, his voice echoed through the sanctuary. We are gathered here today. Ava tuned him out. 2:51 p.m., 9 minutes. Roy Kessler sat in the front row, arms crossed, watching her like a cat watches a mouse. The confession was in his pocket. She knew. Ready to produce at just the right moment. The pastor droned on. 2:54 p.m. If anyone knows of any reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony, speak now or forever hold your peace. Silence. Roy's smile widened. 2:56 p.m. The pastor continued. Vows. Rings. All the pieces of a normal wedding. Ava said the words. Ethan said the words. Their hands touched. Cold. Trembling. 2:58 p.m. By the power vested in me, Pastor Grant said, I now pronounce you The speakers crackled. Everyone froze. A voice filled the church. Roy Kessler's voice. The wedding is perfect. Ava goes down for theft and fraud. Ethan's reputation is destroyed. Monica loses everything. And I walk away clean. Gasps rippled through the congregation. Roy stood. Turn that off. Another recording. The pastor's voice. What about the federal auditors? Roy's response. Handled. By the time they arrive, every document will point to Monica Sinclair and her family. 20 years of fraud, all pinned on a grieving widow who lost her mind. And if she talks, she won't. She knows what happened to her husband. The church exploded. People shouting, phones out, recording everything. Roy's face went white, then red. This is Doctor. He pointed at Ava. She fabricated these recordings. She's a criminal. She confessed. He pulled out the confession, held it high. She signed this yesterday, admitting to everything. That's interesting. A new voice. Female. Strong. The side door opened. A woman walked in. 50. Gray suit. ID badge. Agent Sarah Webb. FBI. She held up her own badge. Mr. Kessler, you're under arrest for fraud, obstruction of justice, and suspicion of murder. Murder? Gerald Sinclair. Agent Webb smiled. 22 years ago. We've had the case file for months. We were just waiting for corroboration. She nodded at the speakers. Thank you for providing it. Roy lunged. 2 agents caught him, slammed him against a pew. Cuffs clicked. You can't do this. Roy struggled. I'm the law in this county. You were the law. Agent Webb took the confession from his pocket. Now you're evidence. The church erupted into chaos. People running, shouting, crying. Ava stood at the altar, frozen. Ethan broke free from his guards who were too shocked to stop him and ran to her. You did it. He pulled her close. We did it. I told you. Together. Across the church, Roy was being dragged toward the door. He stopped, turned. Locked eyes with Ava. This isn't over. His voice was a snarl. You think you've won? I have friends. Connections. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder. Maybe. Ava stepped forward, still in her wedding dress. But you'll spend yours in a cell. And every night, you'll remember this moment. The moment your whole empire fell apart. She smiled. At my wedding, Roy lunged at her. The agents held him back. Take him. Agent Webb said. They dragged him out. The door slammed. Silence. Monica found Ava outside. The sun was setting. Orange and gold across the parking lot. They're arresting the pastor, too. Monica's voice was soft. And 3 of Roy's deputies. More charges coming. Good. The FBI says they've been building a case for 2 years. Our evidence was the final piece. Dad's evidence. Monica nodded. He would be proud. I know. Ava looked at the sky. I can feel it. Ethan joined them, face still bruised, but smiling. So, he put his arm around Ava. We're technically married now. Technically. Want to undo it? Ava thought about it. Everything that had happened. The lies, the fear, the betrayal. And under all of it, love. Real love. Fighting for her. No. She leaned into him. I think I'll keep you. Even after all this, especially after all this, Monica watched them. Your father would have liked him. I know. Ava smiled. That's why I chose him. The sunset faded. The church emptied. Somewhere. Roy Kessler was being processed into federal custody. Somewhere. Tessa Lane was giving interviews about how she cracked the case. Somewhere, a small town was waking up to the truth about its most trusted leader. But here, in the parking lot of a church, a family stood together, broken, healing, free. At last. Chapter 10. The Vow. 6 months later, Ava woke to silence. No fear, no secrets, no watching shadows, just morning light through white curtains. And Ethan beside her. She lay there, breathing, remembering how to be normal. The trial had lasted 3 months. Roy Kessler, Pastor Grant Hale, 4 deputies, 2 judges, a network of corruption that stretched back decades. The evidence was overwhelming. Monica testified for 7 days. Every document, every pattern, every lie she'd uncovered in 22 years of waiting. The recording played in court. Roy's own voice, admitting everything. His lawyers tried to suppress it. Authentication issues. Chain of custody. The judge, A federal appointment from outside the county denied every motion. The recording is corroborated by documentary evidence, she ruled. The defendant's own words will be heard. Roy sat in the courtroom, gray suit, gray face. When the verdict came, guilty on all counts. He didn't react, just stared straight ahead, like a man who'd already died. Sentencing was last week. Roy Kessler, 47 years, federal prison. Pastor Grant Hale, 8 years, fraud and conspiracy. The deputies, various sentences, 2 to 15 years. The judges, disbarred, criminal charges pending. Total land recovered, $2.3 million. Families compensated 47, and one case reopened. Gerald Sinclair, murder investigation, 22 years cold. New evidence pointed to Roy as the orchestrator. 2 accomplices, both dead now, had carried out the actual killing. The case would never go to trial. The murderers were beyond justice, but the truth was finally told. That was enough. Ava visited her father's grave. First time since the wedding. She brought flowers, white roses. His favorite. Hi, Dab. The wind rustled through the cemetery, leaves dancing. I did it. We did it. Mom and me and Ethan. She set the flowers down. Roy's in prison. The truth is out. Everyone knows what you tried to do. She knelt. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry you had to wait. Silence. But I want you to know I read your letter, every word, and I understand now why you couldn't let it go, why the truth mattered more than safety. Tears fell. You were a hero, Dad. A quiet one, the kind nobody knows about, but I know. And I'll make sure the world does, too. She touched the headstone. Rest now. We're okay. Finally, Monica moved into a new apartment. Smaller, quieter, no secrets hidden in the walls. She started volunteering at the courthouse, helping people navigate the system, answering questions, guiding them through paperwork. It's penance, she told Ava. For the years I kept quiet, you were protecting me. I was protecting myself. Monica's eyes were clear now. No more fear. I told myself it was for you, but really, I was scared of Roy, of what he'd do, of losing everything. You lost Dad. Yes, Monica took her hand, and I almost lost you. That's what finally woke me up. What do you mean? When Roy threatened you, when I saw you in that cell. Monica's voice broke. I realized I'd spent 22 years protecting ghosts, and I was about to sacrifice the one person I actually loved. Mom? You saved me, Ava. Monica smiled. Not the other way around. Ethan resigned from the construction company. Too many memories. Too many connections to Roy's empire. He started his own firm. Small. Honest. Building houses for families who actually needed them. It's not glamorous, he told Ava, but it's clean. Clean is good. Clean is everything. They had a second wedding. Just the two of them. Tessa as witness. Monica watching from the front row. A small chapel, different church, different pastor. No cameras, no crowds, no secrets, just vows. Real ones this time. I promise, Ava said, to always trust you, even when I'm scared, even when the truth is hard. I promise, Ethan replied, to always fight for you, even when it costs everything. They exchanged rings, same rings, from the first wedding. They've been through a lot, Ava said. Just like us. That's why I kept them. Ethan slipped the band on her finger. Some things are worth keeping, even when they're damaged, especially when they're damaged. That night, they sat on the porch of their new house. Different town, different county, fresh start, stars scattered across the sky. Do you ever think about it? Ethan asked. What would have happened if you hadn't found that phone? All the time. And I'd be in prison. Ava looked at the stars, or dead, and Roy would still be sheriff. And my father's murder would still be a car accident. Do you regret finding the phone? Any of it, Ava thought. The fear, the rage, the betrayal, the moment she thought she'd lost everything. And then the truth, the justice, the healing. No, she took his hand. It was the worst week of my life, but it led me here, to this, to you, to us. To us. Inside the house, a framed letter hung on the wall, her father's handwriting. Don't let them win, sweetheart. Don't let them bury the truth. She read it every morning. A reminder of what he fought for, of what she'd become. The phone buzzed. Ava checked it. Tessa. Drinks Friday? Definitely. Good, I have stories. The FBI keeps calling me. They want to hire me. Are you going to say yes? Maybe. If they let me work from home and bring my cat. Ava laughed, the first real laugh in months. She put the phone down. Ethan was already asleep, breathing softly. Ava looked at her ring. Damaged, dented, scratched from everything it had been through. Perfect. She thought about her father, her mother, the 22 years of waiting. The truth had cost them everything and given them everything back. She closed her eyes. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new problems, new fears, but not new lies. Never again. This story, her story she had written herself, and it ended exactly the way it should. With love, with justice, with truth, with hope.